Yo, we good. All right. What's up, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. What's happening? Moderators. Moderators Ebony, Black Mamba, and Buck Bewley in the building. What up? My people, my people, my people. My people, my people, my people. What's up to the Tim Black Wolfpack for keeping the lights on in this joint? I appreciate y'all. We live, we everywhere. We on X, Kick, Rumble, YouTube. You know what's crazy? A lot of things are crazy. One thing that's really crazy is if you watch cable news media, which I know some of you do, right? You still watch that stuff, and it's bad for you. They'll spend 72 hours analyzing what some politicians said, but they won't go over what that politician did to try to make the shit better. Because if they did that, it'd be a real short show. Because most of the time, we arguing just about what somebody said, not about what somebody did, because most of the time they're not actually doing anything. Take this whole ICE performance that's happening right now, y'all. Do y'all realize the Democrats was in office for 4 years? They didn't make any moves to do anything different with ICE. They opened up the border, but they didn't do anything to stop ICE from operating. And now, if you listen closely to a lot of the politicians, they're not even talking about doing anything to stop ICE now or later. It's just performance. It's outrage. That's our policy. I keep telling y'all, man, people that criticize and say, Tim Black, what you want us to do, be Republican? I say, no, no, no. I want you to be a thinking person that uses this instead of this when it comes to voting. Use this instead of this when it comes to picking a side of an issue. What helps your family most is what's most important. Not your allegiance to a black politician or a white politician or a female politician or a gay politician or trans politician or anything else. But yeah, I want you to be an independent thinker, an independent mover and shaker, and do what's in your best interest. And if that happens to be a particular party, so be it. But then put them on a short leash, and once they don't do what you want them to do, you get them out. You send them packing, Johnson, and that's how we fight back and take our power. But it all starts with holding people accountable and watching what people are actually doing and not just listening to what they're saying. I mean, fam, I keep telling you, stop feeling beholden to the Democratic Party, fam. We've been voting for them almost 60 years religiously. We've been voting for them so bad. Most black Americans don't even read to see who's running. Just look at the name of the party and just vote D down the line. And it shows. It shows. And it's a problem. Because we're not moving forward. Everybody moving forward except us. You realize this. So when I look and say, okay, we the only group that's not moving forward, what do we do about it? You know, we got some shills out here that's too hard to wrap their head around this logic, right? I say, damn, in 1960, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. Fast forward to 2020, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. White home ownership has gone up. Latino home ownership, that really didn't start to the 70s, has gone up past us. And I say, what are we doing different than the Latinos and the whites and the Asians? And I'm going to tell you, none of those rest of those groups vote exclusively 90% for either party. So you got to barter with them. You got to make a deal. You got to negotiate with those people for their vote. That's it. You would think what I just said is crazy talk. Roland will come after it. Deontay Kyle gonna come after it. The people that rock with the loud mofos on exit still are rooting for Kamala to do what? I had no damn idea. I don't even know what I don't even know what she's doing. I mean, anybody thinking about voting for Kamala is like opening up your refrigerator, realizing the milk is stale, and going, what the fuck, putting it back in the refrigerator and coming back to it later. Because magic makes it better. Yeah. So we got problems. We need to address these problems. And one of the ways we do that is through media, right? Because the media gets people to think a certain way. And look, guys, this ain't a news show. I'm a commentator. I don't just tell you what happened. I tell you why I think it happened and what I believe it means. What it means. That's my take. So that's what we do here. And we will be doing that again tonight. Yeah, tonight's going to be more of that. So give it up for the Tim Black Wolfpack. If you find something valuable in this content tonight, and you be like, okay, all right, I like this guy. Well, I'm just saying, subscribe to the channel. Cut on all notifications. It don't mean you're going to get them, because the algorithm is king. But, hit the like button on the live stream if you're here, and share it on social. That helps a lot. It's a beautiful thing. We'll talk more about it later, but for now, how many of y'all heard this Shaboozey comment at the Grammys? Yeah, man, I talked about Shaboozey, and I had to go in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I had to do my commentary on the Shaboozey. I didn't even know what a Shaboozey was. You know, I'm still on RAW. Here to bring trouble to all the suckers who wrote to be dirt. You know, I'm still on Big Daddy Kane, Rakim. Now, I'm updated a little bit more, J. Cole, Kendrick, I'm still there, but Shaboozey, that's not like something you catch in your anus. What's that? Going to the doctor, like, Doc, I've been up all line, I couldn't sleep, and it looked like I might have a problem with my Shaboozey. So I didn't know what a Shaboozey was. But I got up to speed on Shaboozey real quick because I'm a quick study. And the shit he said at the Grammys was, I would like to say it was uniquely bad, but nah, it's been said before. It's been said before, immigrants built the country. They built America. And so, he's just the latest person to do it that's got a lot of attention. He ain't the only one that said that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We got, during Black History Month last year, Donald Trump was giving a speech, and he was in a room full of black people, and he said, hey, black Americans, they built America, they did this, they did that, they did a lot for America. We all built it, but what black Americans did was very substantial. And it was like a very positive statement Trump made about black Americans. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, a year later, we got Shaboozey at the Grammys saying the opposite. And we got people defending his shit. I'm like, man, what's going on here? I thought Trump was the one who didn't give a fuck about, he didn't respect black people. So my thing about Shaboozey is, I know he wants to, he puts out a statement today. Well, yesterday, he puts out a response. And let's get into the response, okay? Because I got a response for the response. I mean, he gonna respond. I mean, I can't just leave him hanging. He taking time out of his day to get his publicist to put together a comment. The least we can do is acknowledge it, chop it up, right? It is what it is.
Next up with Tim Black.
So this is it, right? And I can now. I'm gonna see if y'all can see this if I do a full screen on that. Okay. Jesus. That's hard to get to right there. That's so anyway, this was the post, right? Let me go see if I can find the image. Jesus Christ, I can't even that text is too small for Brother Johnson. It's a little bit better. First and foremost, how's this? Let's see what we got here. Get some love on this mic. First and foremost, I want to express my deep gratitude to everyone who has supported and celebrated my journey as an artist. I also want to acknowledge the conversation surrounding my acceptance speech. To be clear, yeah, he ain't write this. Yeah, he did not write this. This right here, this does not sound like normal people stuff. That's that prepared remark shit that they give you. To be clear, I know and I believe that we, black people, built this country. Hold on, man. Why is this thing not acting right now? This thing is not acting right, Johnson. That's not good. Fam, this guy said we, black people, built this country. Dude make a response. I can't even get through the first, I don't know, what is this? The meat, like the meat and potatoes of it, I can't even get through it without roasting it. What you mean we? Dude, you just got here. Fam, you 30 years old. What have you done to build the country? Who is we? So when we talk about building the country, we're not talking about ourselves. And your parents weren't born here. Talk about missing the whole damn point. His parents are from Nigeria. They moved to America, they have him. Okay? He ain't build shit. What's we? Your parents didn't build shit in America. Maybe they built it in Nigeria and left it because they so, giving. But they didn't. It's like, it's totally don't. Fam, come on now. Come on now. Why come you just can't say hats off to Black America for all the work they did to make the rights, to die? I mean, people died. Our ancestors died fighting for civil rights, and you get to come enjoy them. Why you just can't give them props and be out? Look, my bad, respect. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I can't go through none of this shit. Come on, man. This thing's running all crazy. Stop with the son of a. He says, my words were not meant to erase, diminish, or overlook that truth. I want to be clear and unequivocal. Foundational Black Americans built this country. Period. To be clear, I believe that Black people have also built the country. Black people have also built the country. My words were never intended to dismiss that truth. I am both a Black man and a son of Nigerian immigrants, and us overwhelming, and in the overwhelming sacrifices my parents. Damn, this is small. I can't read this shit. And in the overwhelming moment of winning my first Grammy, my focus was on honoring the sacrifices my parents made by coming to this country to give me and my siblings opportunities they never had. Come on, Johnson, just when I'm getting through this, hold on. Okay, so at the same time, winning this award on the first day of Black History Month and becoming the first Black man to win Best Country in Black History It stands on the foundation laid by generations of black people who fought, sacrificed, and succeeded long before me. This moment belongs to all of us. My entire career has been rooted in lifting people up, honoring where we come from, and expanding what's possible. I'm proud to be part of this legacy, and I intend to continue doing that work for the rest of my life. Okay. So that's what he wrote. Okay. And why am I seeing people say he said other things? You know what I'm saying? There are people saying he said other things, fam. Is that a little bit clear? It's whack. This is whack. All right. I don't know. All right. So let's get to this. So look, man, I hate to sound like your guidance counselor, right? Or your English teacher, or whatever, but it sounds like this thing was not written with the full scope of the project in mind. Like, it seems like you didn't understand the assignment, Shabuzi. That's what it sounds like. Maybe acknowledge that Black Americans invented country western music. Black Americans invented country western music. Seems like a very simple thing to say. All this other, that's not up for debate, sir. It's not about feels. Got nothing to do with your parents. You win an award in a category. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all get where I'm coming from? You win an award in a category that no other black man has received. And Black Americans invented the music genre. You could say that. You bigging up immigrants, but see, it's par for the course, fam. You cannot acknowledge black people. If you acknowledge the actual contributions of Black Americans specifically, that's when they come for you. Just as Harvey Weinstein and Bill Gates and the Epstein files and Jay-Z and the people. That's when they come for you. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. What I'm saying is, somebody gave this kid the memo. With this young man, okay, he's a young man. Someone gave the young man the memo that told him, now, not the blacks, not the Black Americans, not the foundational Black Americans. Someone had to catch him by the water cooler. Someone sat him down and had a conversation. Someone told him, I don't believe this is on his own. You don't mess up this bad 2 times in a row without help. This ain't him just fooling around or fumbling the ball all on his own. He had help fumbling the ball. Look, I don't want to spend too much time on it only because what you gonna say? What you gonna do, fam? As long as we're clear here, right? The original problem was you have a immigrant making this about immigrants. And immigrants have contributed to America. I would never say they haven't. But you're on Black History Month. The first black man in America to win this award, and you make it about immigrants. And I understand there's some similar people that some of the music, and there's some controversy surrounding, did you get some music from a guy named Jaquan? Or what happened? There's no mention of Beyonce and all this. I'm hearing a lot of stuff where Black Americans really contribute just to your own personal success. And you carved this out of the statement, and now you doubling back as damage control, and the damage control ain't controlling, and it is what it is. And see, this is the thing, fam. This is why we must demand our respect, because if we don't demand respect, nobody gives it to you. You gotta demand it, you gotta take it, because these people act like they will disrespect you and then act offended when you call them out. Why would you accuse me? You know, they do that, they go right into Karen mode. Him wrong. We not wrong, he's wrong. He got it wrong, right? He got it wrong. And now it's like, oh, why are you jumping on here? Why are you taking away from his moment? He had them remarks written down, fam. They was written down. He didn't come off the top of the head. He wasn't freestyling. So anyway, that's it. That's all. Just Shabuzi, go sit down. You know, Jagoofy. Shabuzi is goofy, and go count your money. Go count your money. Go over there. Just go over there. You could have just walked up and just said, God bless, good night. And did a Russell Simmons and wouldn't set your ass out. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. All right, let's go. Yeah, that's the thing with Black History Month. You look across, you see everybody trying to claim a piece of Black History Month. They're trying to make Black History Month about, you know, West Africa. You know, they're trying to make it about, you know, the West Indies. They're trying to make Black American History Month about people that aren't here or from here. It's like crazy. You know, I can't imagine moving to Russia and making a Russian day about me. This is crazy. You know, but see, we get no respect. And when we call it out, then you get a bunch of these old, gout-having, you know, looking, protect, get your head out of my pocket. Bunch of these old dudes, old Black elders with compromised by their money and lack of Social Security checks and pensions. Get your head off my money. Get your head out of my pocket. You know, running out, pretending to be standing on business when they're standing on, you know, whoever's handling them, who's ever actually providing for them. We know the deal. And I wouldn't normally call you out for it. But yo, you're gonna keep running your mouth, then I gotta hit you with that, you know, the bop gun, son. You gotta get the bop gun. So they want to come now and start saying on something. They call it business, but they standing on their benefactors and their sponsors. We know what it is. There's nothing wrong with correcting the record. I got something for that in the works, but I ain't gonna say nothing about it till I'm ready to launch it. But I got us. I got us, fam. I got us. All right? All right. Next on the docket. That's what I tell you, man. That's why you watch the most dangerous show in America, the Tim Black Show, because we stand on truth. We don't care what party you with. We don't care where you from, where your mama from. We don't care. We stand on business. Got that community love shirt on, fam. All right. Let's keep it moving, fam. Y'all ready? Hit the like button if that makes sense. Let this algorithm know you're watching the most dangerous show in America. Let's make it happen. Next. Shagoofy.
A lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to Global Health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
You've no doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you, do you think?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Yeah. Hey, look. There's a lot of people trying to give grace about the Epstein files. They're trying to be, they don't want to hurt other people's reputations. They're trying to be delicate where they assign blame. I saw somebody, I think it was Lizzo, slid out just because you're in the Epstein files. And yeah, it doesn't mean like if it was your email and if you did a crime, does everybody in your phone book now, are they all suspects? Well, yeah, if you came to my house and was eating at my table and I was running and if a crime is happening in my house, it's possible. You was there when some shit was going down. Yeah, Lizzo. Well, see, that's the thing. We always want to protect the rich people. That's it. We protect the rich people. Far as what I be called, as far as brokies, right? Possession is 9/10 of the law, right? So somebody can steal some shit. You got it in your car, you go to jail. Somebody in your car committed a crime, you up in there. Somebody get hurt. Everybody, not just the trigger guy. Everybody gets jacked up. That's what happens to broke-ass people. But see, we got a lot of these ass kissers in Hollywood and in the music industry that want to save other people from the same shit that everybody else deals with. Yeah, you scored, you chose wrong, Johnson. So we got Bill Gates, one of the richest men in America, in the world. He got to talk real fast because he up in the Epstein files. You understand what I'm saying? There's allegations that he gave his wife a disease from contracted it, an STD, right? And we know where he got, allegedly, it seems like he may have got it hanging out with Epstein and doing certain types of acts with underage people. And it's like, look, why would you want to protect him from this scrutiny? You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's not like he can't speak to it. He's speaking to it because it's hurting his brand. And I'm all for him having to explain that. I like seeing rich people have to explain why they was kicking it with a known PDF filer. And not just that, a trafficker. They should have to explain that. If I got to explain, why I supported an XYZ person, politician, that turns out to be a loser or a scumbag, and that's what they said they were, the richest, one of the top 10 richest men in American history should have to explain why he was rolling around with dude. Which brings us to Jay-Z. Man, I'm not here to tear him down. First of all, I can't tear him down. But what I can say, stop caping for him like he wasn't hanging out with Weinstein. I've seen videos, and them shits is not that is not AI video that I'm seeing that has Jay-Z with Weinstein. And it's not just together like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? No, it's like hanging. All right? So this idea that there's no way possible that circles cross paths, XYZ, nah. I'm past dead cross. And he's not above speaking to it. Nobody is above speaking to their affiliation with the Epstein. Nobody. And anybody that's in that should have to talk about it. And I don't care if they're black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. That's what accountability is. Accountability is anybody can get it. Not just people you don't like. Because right now, it's like Democrats are only going out to like Trump. That's it. The only people they see is Trump. They don't see the Clintons. They don't see they don't see people like Jay-Z and the other people, Bill Gates. Like, it's a lot of people in this. It's like a lot of pages. Every page doesn't have Trump's name on it. He's not mentioned in every page. There's a lot of pages. 3.5 million just got released. So your scrutiny should be for all. It does not mean convicted. They are innocent until proven guilty, but an allegation is an allegation. A question is a question, and you should be able to ask questions. We got some people so busy kissing ass, they want to condemn you for questioning. Hey, we didn't put dude's name in the book. We didn't put his name in the file. Nothing to do with it. I didn't have anything to do with that. But I'm not going to work on behalf of anyone, helping anyone get a pass. Because frankly, this is too damn this is too damn big, too damn deplorable, too disgusting, too vile, right? For you to try to run cover. I'm gonna go a little step further than that because this is Tim Black, so let's be real dangerous. If you are running cover for somebody mentioned in the Epstein files and you're up here speaking up for them, we should look at your ass. Yeah, we should hold you accountable for getting involved trying to run defense or offense or whatever you're trying to do. That's what we should do. Because there's some things you back out of and you allow the person to speak for themselves. Jay-Z's a billionaire. He got a legal team. Let him handle that shit. We don't need you running out trying to defend him, his virtue. That makes him look more guilty, in my opinion. He should put out a statement and get in front of this shit and make it clear it up. No one is above explaining who they was with, why they was there, what happened, and let them speak for themselves. All right, let's keep going, fam. I got a feeling that many people are very interested in it, but I'm going to tell you, I love Black Americans. I love us, man, but I'm not going to defend anybody a part of something vile and disgusting like this. That tribal shit on this? No. No. Anybody that would exploit children is a cockroach, a cucaracha. That's what that is. We don't defend cockroaches because they got a certain certain color shell. No. I think Cat Williams said it best. He said, you either on the right side or it's the God side and the evil side. And we don't mess with the evil side. The God side. Something like that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's the side we need to be on in this situation. All right, let's keep it going, fam. Hit the like button if this makes sense. For the record, I said we go after those people who are jumping in the bullet catchers right now, trying to jump in, challenge, and defend rich celebrities whose names appear. And that goes for politicians, world leaders, whomever, okay? Y'all being you're being too specifically like biased in your defense. Because with your point, with your logic, everybody could be defended. And somebody did something. Like I wasn't there, but somebody did something. You don't run that long with all that equipment, with all them people, then nobody did nothing. These people crazy. Y'all was giving Diddy more work, more drama than y'all giving Epstein and his people. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That don't make sense. That gave R. Kelly more blues than you giving the Epsteins. Half of y'all don't even care about this video. But when it was Diddy, or when it was R. Kelly, we was on it like a hornet, Johnson. And I'm saying, that's not how I play here. We stay dangerous by sticking to the truth and doing our best to hold them accountable, right? All right, let's keep going. All right, man, help this algorithm, man. Help this algorithm, please. Thanks, Johnson. Appreciate y'all.
Take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of Black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
So something of a non.
Yeah, man, this is one of the big, this is why I titled the video, the live stream, they hope you don't hear this, they don't want you to know this shit, because, like, this is one of those things, man. This has all been fabricated by the Democratic Party. You do know this, right? Yeah, when I'm up here roasting the Democrats, some of y'all wonder, like, Tim, why? Why do you go after Democrats so much? Because they lie about black people so damn much. Ask them. Ask them why they lie so much. Fam, this whole idea that black Americans can't get a voter ID, they can't get an ID, it's crazy. Every election cycle, the Democrats come out with this shit that, oh, they're asking for IDs and it's racist to ask black people for IDs. And then Republicans are like, what's wrong with IDs? IDs are good because everyone's stealing elections. We got to have IDs. And the truth is, they both bogus in a way, because election integrity, which is something that I was knee deep in back in 2015, 2016, it's not about voter fraud, it's about election fraud. Yeah, when you're rigging election machines. I mean, just think about it, Johnson. How many times can one person vote? I mean, once, right? I mean, anything else, you get a lot of time, and it's a big problem. But even if you want to be crazy, you as an individual, and you want to run around and vote, how many times could you really get away with that shit? Couple times, maybe? You know what I'm saying? But see, if you rig an election machine, you run up the numbers. Get what I'm saying? Like, that's what a real fraud is. It's in elections, not the voter. So, okay. But that being said, fam, even the little bit, the small amount that voters could rig, you should have to have an ID. Most black people, as this poll indicates, most black people are not tripping about having to have their ID to vote. Okay? Because we need an ID to move around the world. We can't move around the country without an ID. That's how mofos get detained too, by the way. Because they don't have ID to confirm their identity. So we have problems. Like, you can't even go for a walk in my area without an ID. I mean, you might fit a description. You want to basically let the cops know who you are if you get pulled up. But the Democrats have made this an issue, and they told you it was all racism why Republicans want you to have an ID. And at the end of the day, it seems to me it's racist to say black Americans can't have IDs, that we don't have IDs in some crazy number. Okay, and if you think that's the problem, how about come out with an ID program that gets everybody IDs? But see, I feel like there's something more to it, and damn it, time to be dangerous and just say it. I believe Democrats want people to be able to vote who don't have ID, obviously, which is a problem. I think they want their new arrival people to vote who may not have IDs, because they have an idea how they're going to vote. Are you going to vote for the party trying to get you deported or the party that got you imported? So it's the question. What do you think they're going to go with? It's hard to figure it out. God, this is a tough question. Carry the 2, put the 3. Oh, God. If a train traveling 100 miles an hour, shit, I don't know. If you eat 3 apples, it ain't hard to figure it out. So as the survey says, the poll says here, cited by the coked up CNN weatherman or whoever this guy is. Black Americans, white Americans, all Americans, pretty much on the same accord. You know how rare it is to see us all together in the same cluster within 5 points of each other on a topic? Rare. It's very rare. America feels, 3/4 of America feels, if not more, that a voter ID is a damn good idea. To have to present ID to voters is a damn good idea. But still, the Democrat operatives are going to come out because that's the mandate, that's the narrative of the Democrats. Everything that's ever done is racist. Once again, I got no problem using the black situation, using blackness, and trying to get something for black Americans. But this ain't for black Americans. This is for the Democratic Party. This doesn't help us. This helps the Democratic Party. In fact, I'm going to go a step further, fam, and say this hurts us because when you got people voting that aren't American citizens, like in California, for instance, they're not voting Americans' best interests. They're voting their best interests. See, when we're all in the same boat, we're all Americans, at least we have some common issues that we could all be concerned about. So when we have voters in large numbers, thanks Joe Biden, potentially voting who don't have the same interests or concerns as citizens of the country, then they're going to vote differently. At least the possibility of them voting differently is a real thing. So I'm saying this non-voter ID, see what I'm saying, where I'm going here? The Democrats pushing that is not to help you, black woman, sitting at home in, Missouri. It's not to help you. Or in Memphis, brother in Memphis. It ain't to help you, fam. Brothers in D.C., it ain't to help you. Sisters in Detroit, it's not to help you either. It's to help their political party. And what they're going to do with that power, are they going to do something for us? No. They're going to continue to push policies that also hurt us. That, my friends, is why I'm upset with the Democrats. The more you know. They use blackness to shield their agenda, which in the end of the day doesn't help black Americans. And it had no intention of helping black Americans. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you got to know. All right, let's keep it moving, fam. If you enjoyed this segment, hit the like button. Let somebody know what's up. Let them know you watch the Tim Black Show, Most Dangerous Show. If you want to become a member, starting at only $5 a month, go to jointimblack.com or find me on Patreon. It's patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. That used to be the name of the channel back in 2012. It's be Tim's Take. I just give my take. Yeah. Damn, those are the days, fam. All right, I'm sorry. Y'all ready? All right, fam, let's get into it. What we got, fam? What we got?
But with that, this vehicle is still $55,000 less than yours. So again, I want to ask you the same question.
Okay, Tesla, we'll just stop you right there. We get it. We understand that your station has this severe right-wing effort underway. We get that. But you also, you guys are dragging this thing out and also not including all the facts. A vehicle that was purchased in 2023 is not the same price as 2025, right? You have to understand that reality. When you look at, I'm talking, you can listen to, let me talk, please. We heard your question. You've asked the same idiotic question now for 3 months. We understand that when you look at a base price for SUVs, base price of SUVs now are, as you know, between $90,000 and $100,000. You're talking about a police vehicle with police equipment on it added on top of that vehicle. It's very simple. And when you look at, these are not astronomical costs, right? You guys in your station in particular would never ask the President of the United States how much the beast costs. You wouldn't do that. You would never do that. This is ridiculous. Let it go. Next question.
For Governor Moore as well, his car costs about $78,000 to $80,000, and he drives across the state. Governor Hogan's car costs $70,000 now. Again, that was bought when he was state.
That's a long time ago. And I also would, well, you looked at, I understand that. I did answer the question. Just because you didn't get the answer that you wanted in your racist slant, that's one thing. But what I will say to you.
All right. Okay, so I just wanted to check, man. I just had to check what this was, fam, because, okay, so Mayor Brandon Scott, the other Brandon. I wanted to know what kind of vehicle this was that he's in hot water over. Local papers, okay, so Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott, I wanted to know what kind of vehicle this was. It's a Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Jeep Wagoneer, okay? It's a $163,000 SUV. So And why that's important? Because, well, I thought it was a G-Wagon or something. I'm like, what is this he got? Got a Wagoneer Jeep product? That's what we're talking about? How you pay almost $200,000 for a Jeep, my dude? Anyway, okay. But so the issue is, and I guess it's a nagging issue that he's been having to answer about, and I get it. It can be annoying to have to answer questions about money. My thing is, though, won't you just answer the question and keep it moving, Johnson, instead of protesting? I mean, fam, it is kind of weird that you would have a vehicle that costs like twice as much as the other mayors paid. Right? Like Catherine Pugh, she was mayor not too long ago, about 7 years ago. Her vehicle was half as much. Now, prices have gone up, and they haven't gone up that much. So it's a lot. But it's not just the price. It's also that it's not a hybrid, it's not electric. And, you know, the mayor has initiatives like for 2030 that are very, you know, green, friendly or whatever. So he's like contradicting himself on that because he got a horrible gas efficient vehicle that costs more. It's the highest costing vehicle in Maryland by any government official by a long margin. I mean, more than the governor, more than his predecessors. So the guy splurged. And instead of saying, hey, I splurged, Johnson, you know, I had to do what I had to do, baby. You know what I'm saying? Let a player play. Instead of taking it and saying, look, man, we got a good deal. Well, we thought it was a good deal. Maybe we'll get a better deal next time. We kept the vehicle longer. It's a 2025. It's not even brand new. It was more when we first brought it. I don't know what you say, but what you don't do, fam, and I know it's people watching and may disagree, and I'm cool, but what you don't do is say, you're only asking me about money because I'm black. And that may work on some of us, you know what I'm saying? Some of us be like, yeah, I bet you that is why they ask you. But even those that it works on, I think it's a little thing in the back of their heads that's going, but how much did you spend? Because it's crazy when you doubling up. And remember, this ain't his money. Like if he went home and bought a $163,000 vehicle for himself, hey, do what you do, player. Let a player play. But when you are dealing with not your money, this is not your money. This is not your paper. Then yeah, you might have to answer questions. Don't do it, Tiffany Henry, fam, where all of a sudden the taxpayers' money is your money. And you can do whatever you want to do. And anybody that asks you questions is either right-wing nut job, they do exist, but not everybody is one, or racist. Because we saw how that worked out for Tiffany Henry. And I would hate to see that happen to you, my brother. Yeah, that would be bad for you. So all I'm saying, man, and I don't appreciate, fam, I don't appreciate that everything being a black cheat code. You know, it's like, once again, here go the Democratic Party. They'll use blackness to get out of anything, no matter what it is. Hey, man, what was you doing at the Archibald Gentleman's Lounge with the strippers, tipping them with money out of the, you know. Then you go asking a black man. Black man can't go to strip club. You know, like everything is about being black. No, it's about you. You're a black man, that's true. But this is a question to you as a mayor. Not a black man, but it's a mayor. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, and I don't know much, I don't know everything about Brandon. Like I said, you know, I know some things. I know about that damn bridge in Baltimore that got destroyed. I know about the contracts that were given to new arrivals on that bridge. It's not like he did a Marion Barry, man, where he was setting aside a certain amount of contracts to black Americans in Baltimore. Like I don't remember that happening. I could be wrong, but you know, like so like I stand on policy more than I do identity. I stand on what's better for the class based, like what's working, like what is being done for working class people. Most of the time, if you look at what happens, what helps working class people, that's going to help black people because most of us are working class. I know people don't like the term working class, but when you look at class, you got to look at when you look at a class and not just race, right? You got to look at money. All right. So what I'm saying is these are the things that make me feel like, okay, this person's standing on business. You being black don't change that for me. Black faces in high places don't change anything for us. Family, we have to reconfigure our brains. We got to delete our hard drives, wipe them, and reinstall our operating system when it comes to politics. And part of the driver update is realizing what works. One of the patches, one of the service patches we got to put on our brains is we got to get past just saying, is that person black? Because that ain't good enough. Because we have been learning, right, that black people sell you out too. This is a level where white people already know because, see, white people be getting sold out from white people forever. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Ukraine and Russians, if you put two of them in the same room, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. And they would fight each other to the death with a dull knife and a balloon. You understand what I'm saying? That's how they're fighting over there. So they already know there's no fraternity between them because of skin tone. All right? We need to get to that point. We got to become more sophisticated. And the people that would knock me for this, the people that would disagree and have a bunch of shit to say are the Pan-Africanists, the African internationalists. Meanwhile, in Africa, the same shit's going on. There's no affiliation. There's no Africans be destroying Africans, and they basically look identical. But Black Americans, we're still lagging behind. Some of us are lagging behind this because of our history and what it used to mean. But see, ever since black people started getting money, really knee-deep in the political game, in the media game, we've had black people that are able to be compromised and lie and spread narratives to help the Democratic Party. They're not helping us. What I'm saying here is just basic. Deeds, not feels. That ain't crazy. Make sense? All right. No more symbols. We need solutions. This is basic. This is what we need. And if they ain't coming with that, we're not interested. So back to Brandon Scott, just to wrap this thing up. Bad answer. Bad answer. Don't tell me, oh, they're asking you because you black. They're asking you because you black, and you got damn near a $200,000 truck that's a gas-guzzling monstrosity. But you telling everybody else we got to cut corners and get green compliant. And you got a vehicle that costs twice as much as Governor Hogan's vehicle was. So you are basically doing shit that would attract attention that cause the question to be asked. And it ain't like it's the hot shit. It's a Jeep Wagoneer, my dude. So get rid of that and stop using this, because we all got this. Stop using this to defend a dumb action. And if you're going to have to be asked all the time about the shit, at least get an Escalade. Fam, or Navigator. Least you can do. Make it worth it, fam. Dude out here driving a souped up Datsun B210. One of them Sterlings, them 90 Sterlings that was, them joints was, them joints was lemon, yo. Them lemons. All right, let's go. Yeah, we have the culture. We know. We know, fam. Gen X, stand up. You had to go back to the Sterling joints, right? Remember them Sterlings? All right. Let's keep going, family. They be appropriating our culture, man, but they don't be knowing things that, happen. Like, you go past 20 years, they can't look it up real quick on black.com. You know what I'm saying?
Who is the Democrat that you see who can carry the flag into 2028? Kamala Harris?
No.
AOC?
No.
Rahm Emanuel?
To win the Democratic nomination, you have to ask yourself two really important questions. One, can you raise a lot of early money? The second question you have to ask yourself, who can walk into a black fish fry in South Carolina, a black church? Now, they can be nice. They're very polite people.
Yeah.
But who is going to get them to hum and sway? If I had to say one guy, if I were like betting the Kentucky Derby and I saw this 12-1 horse and I said, yeah, I want to get a price, I'd take J.B. Pritzker.
Really? Why?
Well,
Not Kamala
first of all,
Harris? She's
no,
black.
She has no chance.
Why not?
Because no Democrat wants anything to do with anybody that had anything to do with 2024.
So Kamala Harris can't get the black community to sway and hum?
No, they're not. No. And the other thing is, and this is the best news for Democrats that the party can possibly have.
Yeah.
Just win. They don't. If we nominate two white males, no one's going to give a shit.
Now, when I first heard this, I wanted to really look at Carvel Skeletor is up here disrespecting black Americans, talking about hum and sway if you go to the black church. I want to be offended by it, but it's hard to be offended by it when it's true. It's true. That's what it is. You know, we got to change that. We don't want to, we don't have to like it, but we got to accept this is our starting point. We need to get to the point of educating our people so that they will no longer fall for the bullshit. But it hasn't been done yet. That's the work that needs to be done. When we hear these activists talking about the work to be done, they're not talking about that. They should be talking about this type of work, the work of truly educating our older folks, our OGs, our patriarchs and our matriarchs. So they stop falling for the okie doke, because somebody just coming in with the right buzzwords and you just going, okay, man, with the right swag, but nothing in the bag. But I agree with him to the point where, I don't believe 2028. I mean, if I was counseling the Democratic Party, I would agree. Nah, it's not. Don't put your money on Kamala. She had $2 billion, fam. Where'd it go? Disqualified. For me, that's disqualified. $2 billion. The closest, she was a heartbeat away from the presidency. And it's like she sat in there, she was in a coma until it was time to run. And that's crazy. Okay. And how you lose the election, basically, by going on The View and being asked a question by your sister girl, a very easy layup question, like, you under the bucket, you 6'9", 7'2", and you can't lay it in the Sonny Hansen asked you, what would you do different than Joe Biden, and you can't come up with one thing you would do different. So either he has you in the Epstein files, or you just dumb, because you got to have that prepared. That got to be locked and loaded in your gun. That you want to be president and you are willing to give some critique to the current administration. Something. So So I agree with Carvel there. It can't be Kamala Harris. No one wants to lose and nobody wants a stinker. I know what the goofy people say on Twitter. I know what the goofies say on TikTok. They just look at that identity. They're not looking at policy and what she really about. This book tour has been a failure. Moving on. AOC. I agree with Carvel there. Nah, it will not be AOC. Uninteresting. I don't even think, fam, if AOC was to become the Democratic nominee, we'd have to hear that. We'd have to hear her talk in the word salad, in the platitudes and that bullshit. I don't know, man. It make you want to stab yourself in the ear with a sharp knife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be the only way to get away from that noise. AOC does not have any true connection with Black Americans and really with working class people. Working class people are really in that mood by AOC. That's what it is. You're going to need some of those people. Rahm Emanuel, hell no. I mean, only the dumbest of the dumb would even float the name Rahm Emanuel. This guy's claim to fame is being the mayor of Chicago when a crime was when a young man, a 17-year-old, Laquan McDonald, was shot multiple times by a police force, and then he helped cover that shit up. To me, the fact he's even in public life at all, the fact he is somewhere in Serbia or Siberia, somewhere cold and far away, like trying to just, I don't know, maybe take up painting like Bush. He's done so. He should be gone. So look, basically what I'm saying is there are no easy picks. Carver said you got to be able to raise money, and lots of it early, which means people already have confidence in you. I don't know about that. Who that's gonna be? And then you got to be able to get the black vote. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, what about Jasmine Crockett? You would have to be able to raise money early, which would mean people would have to believe in you. I know you love it when she's roasting Trump. I know you think it's cool when she goes after the governor Abbott for his disability. He can't walk. I know you think that's hilarious. But in reality, the fundraising, I don't think people really believe that she can get the job done. So that's a non-starter also for those reasons. She would have to do something political to make herself viable, because up to now, all she's done is what I'm doing. And fam, talking, I know it's a great skill. We love talking. Talking matters, right? But at the end of the day, that's all you're doing, fam. And if Jasmine Crockett is on your bingo card for president or for the Democratic nominee in 2028, well, shit, hello? I can talk. I talk. In fact, I'm more on the issues than Jasmine Crockett. Last time Jasmine Crockett talked about the cost of living for Black Americans, the home ownership rate for Black Americans. When has she been on code with these issues? She hasn't been. Unfortunately, until we get our IQ up as a people, as a voting bloc, that won't be enough to stop anybody, because we ain't holding people accountable on that. As long as you come in and get as Carville saying, once again, you can get upset with the rhetoric, but you got to accept that this is the starting point. Don't get mad at the truth. Let's change it. And if you get the church-going Black people to hum and sway, then you got a chance. That's all Biden was doing. That's all Clinton was doing. And that's all Obama was doing. And I'm still seeing people put up Obama videos. Yeah, look what Obama. We remember the days when Obama was president and everyone was happy? Because he threw parties at the White House. Meanwhile, we had the most, Black people lost the most amount of ground financially under Obama. The housing crisis, which was that all his fault, but the solutions to it showed me a hard pass on caring about Black Americans. But to the people that don't care about substance, and all they remember he was with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Remember that time, the Aretha Franklin tribute. Remember the time, remember the thing, he said the thing, remember the joke, remember Key and Peele show, which was the Dave Chappelle show, but Key and Peele just kind of did it over. Remember that thing, remember the time, they're just caught on nostalgia. But it's obvious their pockets weren't hurting. If their family had their houses foreclosed on, if Big Mama lost their house under Obama, you think differently. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as 2028, fam, all I can say is it's still up for grabs. There's time. It's not a lot of time, but there's still time. But as I'm looking at the field right now, the only upside for the Democrats is Trump can't run again. Maybe the Democrats would not be running against a guy that won his nomination 3 times in a row. Something I've never seen a Democrat do. Okay? Let's keep going. Hit the like button if that makes sense. So the only winning point for the Democrats in 2028, no matter who they run, is they might be running against J.D. Vance or some shit, or Vivek. And yeah, you got a chance. You could almost run a cheeseburger and have a shot against Vivek. Vivek don't like Vivek. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep going. Next.
I'm about to do something I've never done in my entire career, and that's apologize to somebody I joked about. I'm out here in San Francisco for the Super Bowl, and I was on the same flight as Cam Newton. After seeing that man in person, Cam, I am sorry. I'm sorry for every joke I've ever told. I didn't realize how nice you were. No, he didn't speak. No, he didn't say anything nice to me. But when I saw him, I realized that nigga could beat me up, and it wouldn't be anything I could do about it. This is the largest human being I've ever seen. A lot of us joke about Cam Newton because we live in this space of social media and the internet that's not a real place. In real life, if he pulled up on every last one of us and wanted to beat us up, he could, and there'd be nothing we could do about it.
You know, and give it up for Ryan Davis. He's on a run right now, and that's good for him. Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see Ryan Davis do well. This is bullshit, man. Even our comedians are soft. We got some suck-ass comedians. Look, man, never talk about politics. Never talk about. Stop telling jokes. Yeah, man, him, like, Kevin on stage, Ryan, these guys just soft. Tony, what's his name? Tony Baker. I like the skits. I like the little joke and man, yeah, you know, I like it, but at the end of the day, man, you guys don't stand on shit. You just don't. Now you can't even stand on jokes because you're afraid somebody gonna beat your ass. That's the joke. Then every time there's an issue coming on, like a real issue that's important for Black Americans, to be thoughtful about it, to consider it, and to have perspectives that push thought, that encourage conversation. We got somebody like Ryan Davis coming out just a punk ass, just like Kevin on stage, just like fair. If you dictate who you gonna roast or who you gonna joke about based on if they can beat your ass, you can never tell a joke again. Who you gonna be talking about? Elementary school kids? Who else would be on your radar? Toddlers? Ryan, you are 5'4". Badly built 5'4". Like out of shape 5'4". You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't got that goddamn it on you, nobody should be worried about you. You won't have to have that thing on you to sit people down for you to be able to tell any jokes. Same thing with Kevin on stage. Now, Tony Baker may be a different story. I don't know. But, man, it's just disappointing, fam. Like, once upon a time, man, our celebrities that were, like, in the 60s, go back to, like, Richard Pryor, go back to, Paul Mooney days. I don't know, back to the 80s, 70s, the 80s, early into the 90s. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like I see these comedians just apologizing for shit nobody would apologize for. Lame, like, stand on your business. Say how you feel. Say it with your chest. I don't know. I don't know, man. It just seems like things have changed so much, fam. That we got this new generation of cowardly lions that can't even stand on business for their own art form. And that's supposed to be cool. And I don't say it's cool. So everything that come out your mouth is suspect. And I know he's just a comedian, but I'm saying comedians, Dick Gregory, use jokes to make statements. Dave Chappelle does also, right? It's important to be able to use jokes to make important statements for society and for the culture. And if everything is based on somebody might punch you in the mouth, well, there's lawyers for that. And that's a small price to pay to stand on business. And if you are afraid, if you are dictating who you're going to make jokes about based on fear, then you're a suspect because now you're just a bully. Because that means people you do talk about, you only talk about it because you feel like you can bully them. You understand what I'm saying? If quiet as is kept, there's some comedians that's from the streets like Mike Epps. I don't think you really want to mess with Don D.C. Curry. I don't care if he's 70. I think he got connections. You know what I'm saying? The streets be talking, the streets be watching. So, I don't know. It just seems lame, fam. And this is why you can't put any stock in celebrities. But once upon a time, it wasn't this way, man. Those celebrities funded our movements. Those celebrities spearheaded. They led the way. The Red Foxes. I already said Richard Pryor, but these people, they were speaking up on important issues that matter. And now all we got is a bunch of Democrat mouthpieces. Everybody looking for where the bag is, and then they say whatever needs to be said in order not to impede them getting to the bag. And that's it. And now you can't even tell a joke. You can't even roast. Cam be dressed like a damn fool. He be looking like like Stevie Wonder was his stylist. He was just wearing crazy shit on purpose. And now you can't roast that because he might try to hurt you? Grown-ass man talking about getting hurt. Ryan Davis goes on Shannon Sharp and everything it's a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding. Dude, evidently, seems like somebody caught Ryan backstage, and put the fear of God in him. It's like Craig Fax. It seemed like Craig Fax may have rolled up on him. Craig Fax rolled up on him, caught him in LA or something, and put the fear of God in him or something, because he walked everything back like somebody. I heard Nick Cannon will beat your ass if you. It's all good. Let's get out. But y'all know what I'm talking about, Gen X. Y'all feel me? This makes sense. All right. Next. Sucker shit.
Wouldn't be able to get that nigga off of us. Remember that time where those guys jumped him at the football field? And now I understand, why.
Now he goes on kissing ass. Remember the time? Yeah, Cam put out some, he put the word out, he was looking for you. Don't tell me Ryan was on a plane like this. Hold on. It sounded like maybe, like Cam Newton put the word out for Ryan that he was looking for him. So Ryan was on a plane like this, in his seat like this. He was on the plane scared as shit. Could somebody please, could you talk to Cam and let him know I'm sorry about what I said? I didn't mean to make jokes about his shoes. You know, when he was wearing the shorts on the show with Jamal Bryant, I didn't mean anything by it. Could you put a good word in for me? I would hate for him to kick my ass. Please. This was y'all want. Y'all want Cerebro? Cerebro, he's a smart comedian. Nah, lame comedian. He's actually going to give Cam Newton a lap dance here. I didn't watch the whole clip. I like saving parts because it makes it more entertaining to do the show, because I'm selfish like that. I want to have a good time just like you are. Let's listen to the rest of this, him kissing Cam's ass.
Why they felt like they had to jump him, and two, how they lost a 3-on-1. 3 of us is not beating that dude. Cam, you are the kindest man ever, because you know that if you wanted to pull up on everybody and beat them up, you could, and you don't.
See, that's the thing about America, Ryan. We don't all, people have ways to defend themselves. Let's put it that way.
And I had been living in La La Land thinking I could just say whatever I want to without consequences. And yesterday I saw that if there were consequences for said words or actions, they would be dire. There would be nothing I could do about it. So, Cam, I apologize. You are amazing. You are amazing in every sense of the word, my brother. Hey, I take it back now to the other people I've made jokes about, and you feel froggy and want to leap. Do whatever you got to do, nigga. I'll fight all y'all, but I'm leaving Cam alone.
Oh, then he tries to throw that in there because he realized he sound like a marshmallow, son. He slides that in like, oh, yeah, man. You know, everybody else, I mean, you know. You ever say anything about Shaq? Because Shaq will beat your ass too. Barkley will beat your ass too. There's a lot of people that are big. What Corey said, he met Barkley in person, was like, okay. Yeah, maybe I should, yeah. Yeah, okay. But he ain't start kissing his ass, though. He just moved on. How come we just can't move on, fam? I want that for you. I want that for you, to move on and save some self-respect. Be a man. All right, fam, one more. Well, I think we got one more. Let's see what we got, fam. Let me know what y'all think in the comments on that one.
I am personally offended by what was presented on so many different levels. One thing I would like to see updated is the word homeless to unhoused. I'm not done.
Can I just don't want Mr. Berman for this to be on him. That's the way our state of California, that's the language that they use, and that's their
That doesn't mean that's the language we have to use. I'm
Those are
just
their
making
tiles.
a statement, and I'd like to
I just
have
want
my
to make
time
sure
to
that
This is what I was talking about. We more concerned with words instead of deeds. You know what, family? Like, I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know everybody that's homeless in a given town and what they think. Maybe it's true. Maybe homeless people give a shit what they're called. Maybe them being in a group that's referred to as homeless is not optimal. Maybe they think they would rather be in a group that's referred to as unhoused. Here's the thought, Sweetness, Queen Bee. I think that the homeless people or the unhoused people would prefer to be known as homeowners. How about housed? How about nobody gives a shit? You focus on the wrong things. We need to improve our language. No, we need to improve the living conditions of the people. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how you refer to them. And see, that's the Democrats. All talk, no substance. No substance. This is literally the problem. This is literally the issue. I'm trying to get people to understand why I got a concern, why I'm ticked off when I'm saying we need to address and see what we're dealing with and realize these people want some BS. They are all about the feels. They are not about the reals. When you up here telling me that you I'm upset about the word choices. Now, be concerned about the condition of the people. You know what? If California, which has a humongous homeless rate, do you realize 40% of the homeless people in California are Black Americans? Meanwhile, they only make up 7% of the population. 7% of the population is 40% of the homeless. Black Americans make up 50% of homeless families, entire families in Los Angeles, homeless. And her concern is we shouldn't call them homeless. We should call them unhoused. No, what they would like you to do is be able to call them on a home phone, B.I. That's what people want. But see, saying these things that make perfectly good sense. Logically, it makes sense. It's not said nice. I ain't got to say it nice. Who cares how I say it? I said it. If you don't say it loud and proud, nobody hears it. You must cut through the noise. This is the Democratic Party's operations. This is how they get down. This is the way they legislate. They don't. They throw out narratives and buzzwords and jargon and rhetoric and make things sound cutesy. but it doesn't really improve the lives of the people. And we've been falling for it. This is the same thing when you put black faces in high places. And at the end of the day, the black faces don't do anything for you because you weren't demanding they did. You just were demanding that they be black. I'm sorry, fam, that's not good enough. When are we going to realize we have to demand more, even more from black people? Man, I remember back in 2020, I got into it with Shannon Sharp on X. At the time, it was known as Twitter. Now, I've always had, since 2015, I had a verified account because of the work I do, not because it was a paid account. It's because I worked out in the field. I was interviewing politicians, this shit. So I got into it because Shannon Sharp in 2020 was tweeting hard and heavy about Kamala Harris. And he was criticizing black Americans because we weren't being supportive enough of Kamala Harris. And he put out this tweet. He was like, oh, come on now. Why y'all always talking? It's always us. Why is it always us going after us? Come on now. Why are we always going after black people? I don't understand. You know, he was doing his whole thing on the tirade. And I'm like, dude, we're not obligated to give votes to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris can't get votes in California. What makes you think she can get them from the rest of the country? Oh, just because she looks brown? That's all it was? And that's it. That is fam. That is it. To this day, I'm sure he has the same politics. If they're black, that's all I need to know, Skip. They just gotta be black. These are black Americans gonna look out for us. No, that's not how shit works. A black person will rob you, steal you, take your money. I just heard Kenan Thompson on the podcast talk about how his accountant took all his money, had him at his first house. He went to buy his first house. He's sitting there. He's waiting at the signing, the paper signing, the lease signing. Early in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, he's sitting there waiting on his lawyer to show up because he gave his lawyer power of attorney. He was like 20 years old. He did so. He had this lawyer since he was a teen, working with Nickelodeon and shit. And this attorney took his money and ran off. That was a black person. So black people will get your ass. There are multiple horror stories. You don't think Shannon Sharp knows there's multiple horror stories where black people have sold other black people out? Black people told on Nat Turner. Black people shot Malcolm X. It's been countless things. A black person, so anyway, I'm not gonna go down that road. What I'm saying is, it's not enough. But we act like it is. We act like it's enough just so the person is brown or black. And there's people of color shit. Please, fam, don't get me started. You know who does that, play by the rules of this People of Color Alliance? People of color. That's who don't. The only people playing by the People of Color rule are black people that are delusional enough to listen to politicians who are black who just don't want to say the word black. So they say, people of color. And they're looking around at the black people going, that means you too. That means all us. But it really just means the Latinos and the Asians they trying to get votes from. Because they already got yours because they look brown. Because they black, they already know they got you. So this whole people of color lie, the vote black because they got your back, all this, no. We have to make a demand. We have to have a commitment, a firm commitment. And when they no longer live up to the commitment, they are gone. The Democratic Party like to play games with words, such as unhoused. Meanwhile, in California, it's a lot of black people living out on the street. FAFO. Right now, New York's learning a lesson. People died this week under Mamdani, froze to death. But he had great words to get in office, didn't he? Oh, the words were fantastic. Woo, what a great speaker. He sounds so revolutionary. Yeah, he revolutioned, right? He revolutioned some people right into the cemetery, right into the morgue. That's what happened. Now, when it was Cuomo, you had no problems blaming him. Now they like, oh, it's not his fault. He's just a mayor. It's not his fault he had a snow blizzard. Well, you know what? Cuomo didn't cause corona. Caused a lot of shit like women to have to leave their jobs because they're being harassed. He caused a lot of problems. Don't get me twisted. But he didn't cause corona, but you blame him for the deaths. Man, Donnie's the man on guard. Democrats gonna try to flip it, make it not be his fault though. So what I'm saying is, we gotta hold people accountable. We can't just judge people on words they use because they talk nice, they say things, and use pretty terms. Substance. We need substance, we need solutions over symbols. All right, that's it. So this sister need to get her head examined. My name is Tim Black. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I appreciate y'all. We had a little slow start tonight. We're going to try to do better on Friday. Come back here for more Tim Black Show. Look, guys, I put out clips every day. It's important for you to come by the channel, hit like on, watch a clip, video clip from tonight's show. Hit the like button, share it with somebody. It keeps the lights on around here. If you could help do that, that would be great. Let's go to comments, man. Let me shout out some people, man. I had somebody come through yesterday, Monday, with a dope ass super chat, man. I just want to say thank you for that super chat, fam. Yeah, I'm so busy trying to stay focused, man, because if I'm doing the show and I'm reading comments, man, I'm off the top of the head, man. It'll derail me. So sometimes I miss important comments, man. But I want you to know, like, you know, you're not just talking to me, you're talking to the community. And I want you to know I appreciate you supporting this show. And I you know, that's what's up, man. Yeah. And I appreciate that. Elizabeth Lundy, thank you for Elizabeth. Elizabeth's the supporter of the show. Thank you, Elizabeth. She's a member of the Patreon, so thank you, Elizabeth, for doing that, man. It's a big-time help for the show. Randy Tears, thank you for supporting the show as well. What up, Jay? How you doing, fam? Black Mamba in the building. I appreciate you. Ty Seti, I think that's Ty Seti from the... There's my brother Ty. What's up, T? Free people of color, right, TBD? Actual classifications. Yep. Earth Angel in the building. Thank you, fam. And I don't know what I said, but I'm glad it was on point, fam. See what I'm saying? All right, man, look. I'm going to get out of here, though. Look, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for coming through, fam. Real talk. Yeah. Don't forget, guys, go find me. You know where to find me at. Become a member of the show. Thank y'all for supporting us. I'll be back Friday so we can end the week strong, fam. No doubt. Stay bold, stay courageous, but most of all, stay dangerous. I'm Tim Black. Now, look, don't let anybody take your cornbread, all right? We're the keepers of the cornbread. That's important. You got to keep your cornbread, fam. Y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember that? What else? Oh, I know. A man changed against his will is of the same opinion still. A man changed against his will is of the same opinion still. So what it is I never change anybody's opinion. You got to change your own opinions. I give you my commentary. It's what I believe. I'm not capable for any parties. I'm not saying it because I'm trying to do somebody a favor. I believe what I believe. And if you analyze it, you consider it, take what you can use and throw the rest away. But only you can change your opinion. And that's part of it, man. And I had to learn, fam, that if I'm sitting around going, damn, everybody didn't change their opinions, that's selfish because I may not witness them change their opinion. It may take you to hear something that makes you think about an issue, and it may be another 3 months or 3 years. before you hear it validated or you hear it a certain type of way. I'm just doing my part. And I'm not always going to be there to see the part come to life. And that's what legacy is about, fam. So we do our part because it's our part. And we plant a seed. Or maybe we're watering a seed that was already planted. And every once in a while, you'll be there to witness it pop through the ground or bloom, but not always. And we got to realize that's okay. Because if we're going to expand and educate brothers and sisters and get them out of the fog, right, we got to have a new way that we look at giving out the information. I ain't trying to preach, I'm just saying we're going to have to change from wanting validation ourselves and wanting to feel good and get that exhilaration, you know, because it's exhilarating for people to have the lights cut on. Just seeing lights cut on in the house. That's a great feeling, fam. And I get it. But we got to be meaningful. Because if you rely on that too much, that'll have you altering your message a little because you're trying to get validation. I'm off validation. I'm on fighting a good fight for the people and saying what I believe is true. And hopefully it'll hit the right ears of the right people at the right time. My name's Tim Black. A lot of people do a lot of things for a lot of reasons. Here go my reasons. And I stand by them, fam. All of them.